Hey there, this is Terrence from Photography in 123, and today I'm going to show you how to do some minor editing in Adobe Lightroom if you use Adobe Lightroom. And this will be for a specific issue that I sometimes get, and that's if I get some kind of spot or discoloration somewhere in my image from something being on the lens. If you take a look at this photo, if you see where my cursor is going, there's a little spot right there, another one here, another one here. I think there's a few in this one. Those are at least the three that I see. And while you may not notice it too much, this one is pretty pretty noticeable. It's very distracting, and especially if you want to print something out, or you want to give a photo to somebody, or if you're going to sell your art, really can't have that kind of problem on your photo. So I'm going to show you how to actually get rid of these spots so that you will not see them anymore. You will need Adobe Lightroom. If you don't use Creative Cloud right now, you can go to Adobe and sign up for a membership, which is a monthly subscription to the various software they have. You can go buy a version of Adobe Lightroom. I have a purchased version, so I don't like paying Adobe monthly. I got a link below to Amazon, so you can purchase a version. Note that it'll be a version that you won't be getting any more updates. So you'll buy that one, you'll go to Adobe's website, download the most recent version of it. It'll be of 6, and whatever version you download after you've purchased it, you will not be able to get updates anymore. The reason they do that is they're trying to move people to Adobe Lightroom 7 on their subscription platform so they can keep on charging you month after month. I don't like that. I wish they wouldn't do it. I'm hoping a competitor comes out that will not have that offering, but as it stands, that's what they have right now. So I'll show you how to do this in Lightroom 5, which what I still use will be the same in 6 and 7, but for the most part it'll be the same thing. So I'll show you how to do that right now. So I'm going to open up Lightroom, which I already had queued up just over here. Maybe I'll close this folder here. If you've not used Lightroom before, the quick layout of the program is on the left-hand side is really navigation. On the bottom is the different photos you might have selected in Lightroom at the time, and in your reel or whatever they call it. And you have tools over here, and on the top, you probably would have default to being open to library, but you want to go to develop mode. And this is where you're going to find the tools to fix these issues. So there's a few tools along here. What you want to use is this little circle with the arrow. You want to click on it, and you have a clone or a heal option. Both could work depending on the scenario. What I try is both. Or either one, and if one doesn't work, I try the other. And you're going to put your cursor, let's just say its size usually starts a little smaller, put the cursor over the area that you want. You're going to see that the size of what I'm doing is a little too small versus the circle that I want to correct. So you can increase the size. So let me increase it, so almost about the same size of that spot. Maybe I'll go a little larger. And yeah, look, it's going to fill perfectly the size of that spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it with my mouse. And you could see it now has a reference circle. So what it's doing is taking data from this spot, which thankfully has no no mark either in it. And it's using that to rebuild the spot over here. If for some reason that spot's not good, or the coloration's off and it's making the spot look odd, you can actually change the size. You could move it around to a different spot, and it will adjust the data it's using for that. Now it looks like it's pretty good, but what I will do is I'll hit the return key or enter key once, so you can kind of see where it's coming from, and another time I could finalize it, and you can see now it is fairly healed. But if you go in, it's not perfect in my opinion. You could see it wasn't quite perfect. You could see there's a little bit of a line there, and it just doesn't look all that great. So I'm going to hit Control Z a few times to undo it, to go back to where I was. Let's give that another try. Maybe in that case I'm going to do heal. I'm gonna, where was I, 66 size, I think. Try that again. I think it's taking it from a fine spot, and yeah, that one looks, no, still seems a little off. I am going to try now this with slightly higher, and the feathering and opacity. Feather is kind of how much, if from the spot you're going to take it. Oh, that's way too large. Notice the size is a bit logarithmic. That 1 or 2 up does not mean one or two bigger. It means significantly bigger. So you have to really be careful what you're doing. Feathering is just going to be how it's going to intermingle the data and kind of interweave it into the spot it's going to, as lack of a better term. And opacity is obviously if it's going to make it a little more transparent to what's going on. So that one, heel and with the feathering is on, did a pretty good job. You know, I don't know if you could see it. I could see just a slight faint line right there, but I am fine with that. I think that worked fairly well. So I will go now, heel, adjust my size a little smaller, no, a little bigger. I want to get this other circle here. Okay, it clicked, so I hit enter, enter again. That one looks pretty good. And let's do the third one. There. So I would say, yeah, those look decent. They are significantly improved. And what I would do when I'm going through photos, especially that I want to print out or sell or give to somebody, I would just whip through everywhere in zoom, looking for any discoloration in the photo, any spot or circle like that, and correct it so that we don't have that problem going forward. Once you're done doing that work, your job's not 100% done yet. You actually still have to go to File and Export. Because you can't save your photos in Lightroom like you would think. It's not like you're opening the photo and then you save it when you're done doing the work. It's importing it into the program, you're doing the work, and if you close, it's just saving the work that you've done in Lightroom itself. It doesn't save it back to the directory you're in. So you want to go to the export function. You know, you can have export to different spots. I always have export to my hard drive. Obviously you want to choose what folder you're gonna save it to. So in this case, you want to change that. So that's saying subfolder. I used to have it defaulted so it always goes back to the folder that I was doing work in, but maybe it didn't do that in this case. So I will go to my photos, Lightroom test, choose, and then I'll subfolder. I always have it be processed. So if I'm doing work in a folder, it's always going to save any edited stuff I do in that same folder, but in a subfolder called processed. You could change it to edited or whatever you want, but I always recommend having that on there. Everything else I kind of leave the same, and I will hit export. And what will happen is now, if you go here, I go to processed. I now have that photo here, and those pieces are gone. If I just kind of make this a little smaller, you could see the corrected image right here. So I hope that helps you learn how to do small corrections to your photos. Again, if you're interested in getting Lightroom and want to purchase a copy and not pay Adobe every month, go to the link below to Amazon. You can buy a copy. It's going to be, I think Lightroom 6 is what you can get the most right now for a standard install on your desktop. Once you receive that from Amazon and install it, you'll likely be able to do the most recent download from Adobe. But after that, and it's going to be as of December 2017, after that you won't get any more updates. So your software will get out of date. I'm using Lightroom 5, which I've been using for a few years now and hasn't been having updates for a while. Still fairly good, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Or you could do the subscription through Adobe. If you like this video, be sure to like it. Leave a comment if you have any other Lightroom questions that you want to see done in here. For the things that are common, you can do a lot of adjusting, tinting, anyway, a lot of changes you can do in Lightroom. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll try to put some videos up on that. Share the video if you think somebody else will find some use out of it, and hit the notification icon if you want to get the most recent updates when I add videos, and please do subscribe. And if you're interested in checking out my photography in 1, 2, 3 ebook, click on the link below and check it out. Hopefully this has helped you, and hopefully you'll find some other videos on my channel that'll help you. Have a great day.